So today is the start of Ranger restoration. I'm going to be going through, taking it all down, repainting it, redoing the suspension, redoing the brakes, steering, everything. Pretty much bringing this thing back and giving it a little style, you know. So in today's episode, we're going to be removing the roll bar, and I'll show you how to do that, and show you how to prep it, how to get it primed, and get it painted. So let's get on it. Now there's only a couple tools you need. You need a ratchet, you need two wrenches, a 16 and a 13, and two sockets, a 13 and an 18. And I think I lost it. Nope, there it is. And an 8mm Allen. So the cages are pretty easy to take off. First thing you do is pop open your hood. And you've got 4 Allens, 2 on each side, right down here in the support bar. So you're going to take those 4 off, 2 here and 2 there, and then you have 4 Allens at the top of the cage. And this is what unbolts the front section from the rear section. And these are also 8mm Allens with nuts, but the nuts are inset into the frame, so the frame holds the nut. So what I do is I never take the whole thing off as one. It's too big, too bulky. So we get the front section off, and then we'll get the rear section off. So let's get started with that. And also comes in handy if, put these there, you got one of these guys. Now I don't tend to break my bolts free with these. I still like to break them free with the ratchet and then use the impact driver to take them apart. Yeah, that's why. You'll sit there all day with the impact driver. I don't have a very strong one, but get these guys off. Come around. You can take your hood off too. It makes it easier to walk around it, but get these ones loosened. Yep. Now I did soak these with some penetrating oil. There we go. Alright, so we got those guys loose. That one's loose. Like I said, go through, get them all broken free. And now, back around the hood. Should have taken the hood off. Now these two. Okay. There we go. And once you get them broken free, like I said, I use my gun. Take your nut and your bolt. There we go. Okay, we're going to fast forward this a little bit, or we're going to skip it. I don't know. We'll see during editing, but you guys don't need to be bored to death with this. So, okay, so now we got the cage loose. So pretty much is you just kind of get in the seat, grab it, put it up, and off. And there's the front section. All right, let's get to the back. Okay, so we got the front off. So now the back, pretty much same thing. You're gonna undo your seatbelt anchors. I've already started working on it. The seatbelt anchors, the 18 mil and the 16 mil. Just undo it, and what I do is leave everything the way it is. Just like that. You're gonna get that. Down here, you're gonna have a 13mm bolt and nut. And then back here, you're gonna have another 13mm bolt and nut. And same thing on the other side. So I'm gonna get that side undone, and then we'll get this cage off. And for this, you're gonna need an extension to come up through the bottom of the frame here to access these bolts for the middle. All right, so now we got the cage all undone. Now that side, the bolt that's down here, you actually have to go through the intake. There's a port for your clutch intake there. So you gotta take the intake clutching tubes off and then go up through that port to access that bolt. Well, once that's done, now it's just a matter of a little bit of muscle. Out she comes. And there we go. Voila. Not bad. All right, so now we're gonna take off the seat and get this thing ready for some cleaning. All right, guys, so we got this all set up. Now what you're gonna wanna do is take 320 sandpaper and you're gonna wanna stuff the bars up. If you have any heavy metal, such as heavy rust, you can use a wire wheel or a wire brush to clean that up. As far as the paint goes, you just gotta stuff it up with your pad so you're giving it something to bite to. And it's raining. So while it's raining, I'm gonna sit in here and sand this cage down, and then I'll come back and I'll show you guys what it looks like. All right, and there we go. It's all scuffed down. Just want to get the shine off of it so the primer can stick. Got all the rust, really bad rust spots cleaned up. And then what I use is I wash it down with soap and water, let it dry, and then I go over it with this, rubbing alcohol, and then let that dry. And that should take off anything that's gonna keep the paint from sticking, but it came out pretty good. So, now I'm not a professional painter. This is just what I do. So, I'm sure there's plenty of other ways to do it, but this is how I do it. So, all right, she's all ready for primer. We got the Ranger all covered up for overspray. And then, let's see here. Where is my primer? Here it is. This is what I use. Rust-Oleum Professional Primer. This stuff works great. Does a really good job. So this is what I use. Again, there's other brands and types you can use. Everybody use whatever you want. This is just what I use. So a little back shot. There's a Sportsman sitting out there. So all right, so I'm gonna get priming this, and when I get back, we'll see how it looks. All right, guys. Here we go. She's all primed up. Got 3 coats of gray primer. Looks pretty good. Not too bad. Very nice. Came out good. So now we're gonna let this dry for an hour, and then when we come back, we're gonna be putting the top coat on it. All right, guys. There we go. How's that look? Not too bad. Pretty shiny. Nice. So it came out pretty good. It's 4 coats of the Rust-Oleum blue. And this is what I used. It's sail blue. It's a really nice blue. And actually, I mean, the cap's, it's a little darker than the cap, but I think it came out really, really good. All right, here we are. It's been 2 days since we finished painting, and the cage is back on. Looks pretty good. Not bad. Got all the bolts back in. Now, one of the things I want to say is, when you put your cage back in, make sure you don't tighten any of the bolts until you get them all in. So just get everything put together and get the bolts in loose, and then tighten everything down. But I think it came out really good. There's the back. Not bad. Nice and, look at that, nice and shiny. Looks good. There it is from the front. Still got to paint the hood, get all this restored, but it's coming along. That's the first step to the project. So next video, what we'll be doing is getting the cage all decked out. I got a whole bunch of add-ons for it, so, but it looks pretty good. So I'll catch you all on the next one.